In the last video, I found out something really useful. Vinegar didn't affect the ResinCrete, but it did affect the Decor Etch. So now I want to take that discovery a step further and see what happens when I hide coloured ResinCrete, which is these bits I've made, and you'll see how I make those in a minute, underneath the Decor Etch, and then try and etch the surface back and see how it comes out. Will it reveal a terrazzo style finish, or will it just be a complete waste of time and a mess? I don't know, I haven't tried it yet. I'm also going to test crushed glass as well in a separate one because I'm really interested to see what the results are for that. And I've got my little colours of crushed glass there ready. Well, the important part from the last experiment is that the vinegar didn't touch the standard ResinCrete, which is really important. So I'm going to do two tests. I'm going to do one with some ResinCrete flakes, and I'm going to do another with some crushed glass pieces. And I crush my own glass. I've had lots of videos on that. But you can buy crushed glass. I'll link it in the description below if you want to have a go at this. For the ResinCrete, I'm going to use, I think, some quite nice colours. I'm not going to use black because I think that'll be too much. And I need to make my little chip-ins first. So I'm going to mix up my ResinCrete and show you exactly how I'm going to make the little chip-ins. So I've mixed up my ResinCrete. I've more than enough here, so I'll be able to have some spare pieces. Now what I'm going to do is pour it into my little jugs. And now add my colours. Now I'm going to pour this. I don't want it to be thick chunks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this over my mat and let it cure up on my mat and then break it up once it's nice and cured into some different shapes. So the first one I'm going to do is the yellow. And this is a really vibrant colour. And then all I'm going to do is pour that on my mat like this. And let that do its thing. Now I'm going to go for red. And I don't know if this is going to work or not. Hopefully it does. And if it does, it will give a great effect. I haven't tried it yet. I'm doing it live on camera. And I want to keep these fairly thin because I don't want them sticking too far above the surface of the moulds when we've etched. I'm just going to spread that out a little bit more. And I'm going to go ahead. I'll finish pouring the rest of the colours. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do and how I'm going to break it up once it's cured. So I've got these all poured now and they're starting to cure. I did one with all the marbling in using different colours. I quite like that, but whether I'll use it in the terrazzo, I don't know how to say that word. Terrazzo, we will see. It depends. I do actually like the way the patterns come out. So I'm going to leave this for about half an hour and then it should be ready to break up. Well, this should be cured enough now to be able to take off this mat. And there's an easy way of doing that. All I'm going to do is put my hand under the mat like that and lift it off. And then what I can do is break pieces up like this. I want fairly small pieces for this, but all different shapes. I don't want them to be a uniform shape. Well, this has all come out really nice now, as you saw in the intro to this video. Now, the multicoloured one, I've put in a separate bag because I'm not sure I want to mix that in with this one. I think I would rather keep that. If this works, then I'll use that one separately in its own mould. And I'm going to do this two different ways for the chips. The first way I'm going to do is, all I'm going to do is place some on the mould like this and see what happens. See if that works. I want them all flat. I don't want any laying on top of each other. And I want a bit of a gap around them as well. Make sure I've got all the colours in there. Because I don't know if once I go to mix this and then pour it, whether it's going to move all these away or cause it to float in the Decor Etch, or whether it will stay there or not. I don't know. I really don't. I want to make sure I've got some down the sides, and I do want quite a lot in here. My only trouble is now that I've got these all mixed up is I actually can't see what colours they are. The pieces, the chip-ins into the Decor Etch. For the crushed glass one, I am going to place that into here like this. Spread that all about a bit, making sure I've got it everywhere. And then that remains a bit I'm going to mix into the Decor Etch. And this is really easy to measure out and use. All you need is a 5-to-1 mix. So I've got 300 grams of powder there, so I'm going to need 60 grams of liquid. And if you're not working in grams, it's exactly the same regardless of what you're working in. So if you're working in ounces, you've got 300 ounces, you'd need 60 ounces of the liquid. Now I'm going to use my fork to give this a good mix in with. If you think it's a little stiff to start with, don't worry, keep mixing and then you'll find it comes out nicely like that and gets lump free. And this is the part that's going to make it really interesting, is once I pour this over, is it going to just move those pieces about and allow them to reveal, or is it just going to give me the decor etch? I mean, if it just gives me the decor etch, it will look lovely because I love the way the decor etch looks. Really hope these colours come out as well. I'm going to fill that up to there. And then before I do anything else, what I'm going to do is give that a couple of drops like this. Just to try and get it all the way around where I've got pieces. I'm going to give it a bit of tappy-wappy and a bit of squidgy-widgy. I'm going to give it another drop. And that should then allow that to go on all the way around. And then fill this up. These moulds are getting a bit past it now, unfortunately. They're getting a bit baggy. There we go. Now for this one, I'm going to chuck in my terrazzo bits now and then mix that in and then place that on there and then cover it up and fill it up with the decor etch. I don't want any bits that are sticking over the top of the mould. So what I'm going to do is just quickly mix up some more and then I'll come back to you. So I've got my decor etch mixed up now and all I'm going to do is exactly the same thing. Fill that over the top of this. Give it some tappy-wappy. Pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop your bubbles as they come up. Right, so I'm going to give that a bit of a tap. Now, I think this one, they may have lots of trapped bubbles in them around the edges. I don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. You can see there's quite a bit of trapped bubbles in this around where I've put the little chip-ins. That's why it's really important to keep giving it a tap. And now I'm going to mix up the deco etch for this one. So for the second test, I've got my glass in there. I'm also going to put my little pack of glass that I had in there and I'm going to give that a really good mix round. Now this is definitely going to react differently. I'm not even sure, like, again, if it's going to show up, but it's not porous in any way like the ResinCrete that I've put in there. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is pour this on there fairly gently. So it could behave completely differently or it could behave exactly the same. I don't know. I mean, if the etching process removes enough of the surface, then the glass might show through enough. But I don't know whether it will be obvious or barely visible, to be honest. And that's why I love doing these experiments on camera live with you. Because then I'm as shocked as you are when it works or it doesn't work. Now, unlike with ResinCrete, you need to leave this about 4 hours in the mould before you demould it. When you first get your bag of ResinCrete Decor Etch, it'll have done a lot of travelling. And you know, if you shake something, then the bigger bits are going to come to the top or they're going to sink to the bottom. So before you use it for the first time, just give it a bit of a mix around like that so that all the bits in there are evenly distributed. Well, these have been curing now for probably about 6 hours and I'm about to go to bed. But I want to take these out of the moulds now because that way they will be ready and dry enough for me when I come to etch them tomorrow. Nothing has stayed on there, so that means that's all embedded in there really well. I can't wait. I'm not going to look at them yet until I've got them all out. Okay, so that's that one all demolded. I got a little bit of overpour on there. I'll just pull that off now. And then we can quickly look at them. So that's the one where I put the stuff in first on it. That's the one where I mixed it in with the deco etch. So we will see if that etches out and how well they look. That looks pretty already. And that's the one with the glass in. I can't see any of that at the moment and it doesn't seem to have sunk down. And it does look like it's all gone into the decor etch. But we will see if it comes out once it's etched. And we'll do that tomorrow. Well, that'll be in about 2 seconds for you. But it'll be tomorrow for me. Well, these are all cured now. And this is where the real test is going to start. At this point, I can see some hints of what's underneath here with the glass and here with the bits that I mixed in. The question is whether the vinegar etching can actually reveal enough to make it look intentional or not. So what I'm going to do is pop this into my vinegar and leave that in there for about 4 minutes and then start etching the surface. Well, that's been in there about 4 minutes now. I'm going to give it a bit of a scrub, because that's what you need to do with it. Try not to get the vinegar everywhere, obviously. See if that has revealed any more of those pieces. Oh, it definitely has. You can certainly see a few more in there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that in there for another 4 or 5 minutes and see if it will reveal any more. And then I'm also going to put that one in there as well, ready. Leave that for about 5 more minutes and then I'll give it another scrub. There is definitely something different happening here, but I need to make sure that it's had enough time soaking, because my vinegar might be a bit weaker now as well, because I've used this quite a lot. I've ordered some more. I've ordered double strength, so hopefully it'll do it quicker. Well, these two have had long enough now, and I've given them a good scrub. I'm going to put the one with glass in now, and we'll see what happens to this. I'm going to go and rinse these off under a tap and let them dry, and then we can make a comparison. Well, that's had 5 minutes now. I'm going to take it out, and you can already see those glass chips have definitely shown. I wish I'd put a few more in it now as well. Give it a quick scrub, and now I'm going to go and rinse this off in cold water, dry it off, and then we can look at them all. See which ones have worked, see which ones maybe didn't work, and which one we like the best. I'd be interested to find out which one you like the best. There, I'll give that a good scrub. So these are all the pieces now that they're finished and been etched and dried. This is the one with the big chips that I put directly onto the mould. And the big question is, does that look like terrazzo, or whether it just looks like bits trapped in the surface? It's lovely and smooth. It's worked really well. I mean, where we've etched it, you can feel the actual texture. The only thing is, I did trap some bubbles in it. It was more difficult to get the bubbles out of it. This is the other one where I mixed it with the Decor Etch first. I actually quite like that, although it hasn't exposed as much of the terrazzo chips as I thought. I still quite like it. But my winner, I think, is definitely this one, which is the one with the glass in it. And that is lovely and smooth. There's no sharp bits or anything like that there at all. I think that has come out so pretty. You can see all those colours in there. I mean, I do like both of them, to be honest. Now, I would seal these with a gloss sealer. And I'm going to do that quickly. I'm using the ResinCrete gloss sealer, which can be used on lots of different things. You don't need to just use it on ResinCrete if you've got some. I would recommend this. If you use more than one coat, you give a 24-hour gap and then use a second coat, then it becomes waterproof. It's easy to apply. Dip your sponge, which comes with it, into your sealer, and then just sponge it on and leave that to dry. So I'm going to finish these both up. I'll show you what they look like completely finished and glossy. So the big thing that I've learned is that the vinegar can be used like a reveal tool, because it affects the decor etch, etches that, but leaves the ResinCrete pieces alone. And look at that, now it's been glossed. I absolutely love it. All those ResinCrete pieces are lovely and smooth, and they've glossed really well, so they sparkle in that. That one, they didn't come out quite as clear, but I still like it. I think it looks nice. The crushed glass absolutely gives a different kind of effect. It depends much more on the light and how the light catches it. I wish I'd put a little bit more in, and I will do next time. But the results for me are really useful, because it actually gives me a direction I could develop this product in a lot further. And if you haven't watched the previous vinegar etching test, then watch that next. I'll link it up here, because that's what led to this experiment, and I got some amazing results with it, creating some very different pieces. So be sure to check that out next. Boot that like button, hit that subscribe button, but most of all, enjoy your resin. Take care. Bye.